Hi guys, James with Wealth from Zero. The other night I asked a question of you guys. I kind of asked, putting ahead of this video, just if you ever find yourself in a rut, or if you ever find that you're not producing like you normally do, what do you guys, as sales professionals, do to help yourself get out of those ruts? And I was hoping to see some comments and stuff on that to see what people are doing and what tricks people might have up their sleeve. Well, tonight I'm going to tell you some of the things I've been in those ruts. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've done and some of the things that I kind of help other guys, some of my sales staff and stuff that I've told in the past, just how to kind of get over that stuff. So just a couple of things. I'll make this another short video. I know you guys don't like taking up a whole half hour of your life listening to me ramble. But anyways, so first and foremost, a couple things what not to do. So if you're finding yourself, like I said, if you find yourself in a rut and you're taking ups and you're just not closing deals and you're not getting the production that you normally do, and you can't seem to put your finger on why, sales is very mental. Guys tend to start beating themselves up and trying to figure out what the heck am I doing, and you see another guy who's doing great, another gal who's doing great, and it's just beating you up because I should be doing good too. And that's completely understandable. And that happens to every salesperson that I've ever worked with. And a couple things here. So first and foremost, what not to do, and that's reinvent the wheel. Don't sit and dissect yourself and think that you're doing something wrong. So you got to try something different. You got to try something, that maybe you've never done before. Things like that. You don't need to go back and completely reinvent yourself. 9 times out of 10, it's just a natural cycle. It happens. Sometimes you're riding the wave and sometimes you're not, and the number one thing is, do not try to reinvent yourself. Leading to number two, what you should be doing is back to zero. Go back to zero, remember your training, remember your steps, follow your sales steps and your sales process. Now, in earlier videos, I know I've told you guys that I'm not going to be training, a sales process per se, at least not in this video series, about, the 5-step, 7-step, 10-step process, whatever you use for your selling. But those are important things to know and have in your back pocket. Because in these times when we do fall into a rut and things aren't going our way, we need to have a track to follow. And that's the sales steps that you learned and you were trained on when you first started in this career of, meet and greet and interviews and features and benefits and, things like that. So when you find yourself off the track, you find yourself not feeling yourself, you find yourself in a rut. The sales process is what you go back to, and then you just back to zero. You start doing like you did when in the very beginning, and you go through your process. You slow yourself down. Do not sound desperate. That's what we come off as when things aren't going our way. We try to speed things up, and we try to, really hammer one home just to get out of this rut, just to get one close so I can move on and get over this. And a lot of times we come off as desperate when we do that. So just follow your sales steps. Like, do not reinvent the wheel. Don't change yourself. Don't completely think that you got to watch a bunch of sales videos like me or someone else and retrain yourself. No, just take a deep breath, look in the mirror. You got this. Follow your steps, and you will eventually get back on track. You will get to your production and get back into closing deals very naturally. Just do not panic, and just like you ride the wave when you're high, you got to ride that wave when you're low as well. Some ways to get out of that outside of just stopping and taking a deep breath and following your sales steps and getting back on track. Another thing is, earlier in the series, I had mentioned, a couple important things to have as a salesman. And one of them is just your normal, full length mirror or bathroom mirror at your house. And the reason why I find those important is because it's one of those things where you can watch yourself run through your sales pitch to see, what you're doing body language wise, how your tonality sounds. Even pull out, like I have here, I just have my phone set up and recording, and pitch yourself, sell yourself into your phone and watch it back and kind of see where you feel you can tweak it, or call a guy like me, send me the video, and I can definitely, walk you through some stuff that I see you may be, you could tweak, or you could, improve on, and or take away from, whatever you need to do. But with that being said, so just slow yourself down, look into the mirror, pitch yourself, look into your phone, record it, pitch yourself, and just see what steps you're following. Make sure, in that sales process, there's a reason that they're laid in there, and there's a reason that you train so hard on them, is because it's easy to get off track. Even when you're not in a rut and you're selling and you're just having conversations with the customers, it's real easy to get off of your sales process. So it's really nice to have that 7-step, 10-step process to hone yourself back in. Okay, I was on number 3, get myself back in here. Okay, on to 4, on to 5, on to 6. So it's one of those things that's really nice to remember and to rehearse from time to time, no matter how long you've been selling. I mean, I've been selling for over 20 years now, and I'm learning every day. It's just one of those things that, as a person that prides themselves in, having a sales career, and a successful one at that, is, just constantly being able to absorb and learn and take from others. And I love watching other salesmen work and see how they do things, just to see, if I can steal a little bit of their stuff or whatever. So it's just it's a really good thing to just rehearse yourself, watch yourself, no matter how long you've been doing it. And when you are in those ruts, it really helps hone you back in. And last, one of the things that I do, again, I like to I like to be very transparent with my customers. So I will flat out tell them. I mean, if I've, had a week and it's Thursday and I've got a big goose egg on the board for the week and I'm not doing anything, one of the things I will flat out tell a customer is, when they come in and it's my turn in the rotation and I get to come up there, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, thank you guys so much for coming in. Love the opportunity to help you guys today. I've actually been in kind of a rut, and I'm hoping you guys can help me out. Let's get one on the board. Come on back. Let's sit down and see what you guys need. So I'm just open with people and tell them, I've been struggling a little bit or whatever. And I think that by doing that, you're letting the customer into a little bit of where you're at, and that helps them gain trust in you, because you're just human. You're just there trying to make a living, just like everyone else. So letting someone know that you're, in a rut, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that game. So, if you're comfortable doing that, not everyone is. I am, just because I sell very much like I do everything, and what you see is what you get with me. So I'm very open and very transparent to all my customers. So I would flat out, when I do get in those situations, I literally flat out, come right out and say, so happy you guys are here. It gives me another opportunity to try to get out of this dang rut. It's Thursday. Haven't sold anything all week. Hopefully you guys can help me out, and that's also maybe a little bit of an icebreaker and a little joke to move things along. But it's one of those things that might let you also let your guard down, because when we are late in the week or late in the month and our numbers are down, I mean, we've got bills, we've got other things going on. So it's a lot of pressure on a commission guy when you're not closing deals, that starts to just tumble and roll and build and build and build. And you just start to think, man, what am I doing wrong? And it really does, weigh on a guy, and just that negative energy helps bring you down and keep you into that rut. So you really got to kind of shake that off and have some fun with it. Let a customer know where you're coming from and what you're doing and how you're feeling and stuff like that. So those are a few things just to go over the sales rut and the sales, when you're low production and stuff like that. It happens to everybody. Comes a time in every man's life when he can't perform, not like that, but you know what I mean, where you're just want to do so much better than you're doing. You put so much pressure on yourself. A lot of times to a customer, they can see that, they can read that you're putting pressure on yourself. Maybe you're flying through those steps so fast that they're not having time to process your information, because you're just trying to get something done. You're just trying to force it. And with this industry and with this job, you just can't force things. You've got to control the conversation, but you've got to still allow the process to happen, allow the customers to think and absorb. And the number one thing is, get in the good graces of that customer and build that trust and that rapport with them. And if you're trying to force yourself through it, or, speed your way through it because you're just trying to close one just to get one done, it comes off as feeling a little bit desperate and a little bit tension and a little bit forceful and pushy as a salesperson. So, just relax. So that's kind of just a few pointers on my end. If you find yourself in those ruts and stuff, number one, don't reinvent the wheel. You don't have to go back and try a bunch of different things, or like I said, you don't have to overstudy. You do want to analyze a little bit and go back and look at your steps and see what you're doing, but don't reinvent yourself. It's nothing that you're doing that wrong. More times than not, it's just you got a little something going on outside of work or in the back of your head, and it's just putting a little bit of changing your tone, changing your emotion, changing your passion a little bit, and that customers pick up on that. So as soon as you can kind of leave that stuff at the door, shake it off, and emotion creates emotion. So if you're a little down and a little stressed or whatever, the customer is going to feel that stress and they're going to feel that emotion. So try to leave that at the door when you get to work, and bring some positive energy and some upbeat energy to that conversation and to that sales pitch, and customers will eventually fall in line, and you will start to build that rapport with them again and everything, and you'll just be right back in track, smooth sailing with closing deals and having great success. So that was my clip for the night. We will talk to you guys here in the next few days. I'm going to be talking more about what I just talked about, is the emotion and how emotion can create emotion inside of a deal, and how it helps so much to bring that positive energy and that positive vibe into a sales deal. So if you guys have anything that you want me to kind of elaborate on or touch on, please feel free to comment. I'm pulling off stuff just based on my experiences and what I do. So if there's anything out there that someone's struggling with, or a point that you just can't get across or you can't get enough information on, shoot me a message or shoot me a comment, and we can touch base on it. I have no problem visiting with you guys or doing a video on something like that as well. So again, James, Wealth from Zero. Go ahead, please like the video, subscribe, follow, all the above. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a great night.